Welcome everyone to another episode. It's your host here, Annalena, and today I wanted to share with you a little bit more about the magical shifts that I have been experiencing on my journey through human design, along with the Gene Keys, and then also from working with, I want to say now, hundreds of clients over the last 4 or 5 years. So when human design first found me, I literally felt this huge sense of relief in my entire body because for years I had been trying to find answers outside of myself. I was always looking, I was always chasing, and I always felt there's something missing within me, like or there's some knowledge that some other people know, but I don't know. And when I discovered human design and some of the things that I learned about my particular human design at the time, I just felt this huge sense of relief. And I started to realize that, oh, there's actually nothing wrong with me. I just have to really lean more into what feels innately right to me. That sounds very easy to say. I know from my own experience, it's not so easy to actually implement for us humans because we tend to get easily influenced by a lot of noise out there. And we naturally compare ourselves with others. And we feel like we should be already further ahead. And through these teachings, again and again, I started to realize that I'm exactly where I need to be. I have my absolutely unique and wonderful own journey. And if I'm going to try to be anyone else, I think that's the only thing that's really holding me back. So it really shifted for me from looking outside of myself and trying to find the answers in others to shifting to me, what I already knew, what was really within myself. And the other beautiful thing is that not only did I learn certain things that are normal and typical for me, so just to give you a couple of examples, there was this part of me that felt very multi-passionate and had a very hard time to just pick one thing. And I needed to embrace that rather than resist the part of me and try to force myself to just pick one thing because it simply didn't feel right in my body, no matter what other people were saying. And just this one piece of information or this awareness that human design gave me that your body is here to make decisions, not your mind. That was an absolute game changer for me. The other piece that I realized, hey, it's actually okay to be a little bit more introverted. I don't have to be super extroverted or pretend to be super bold if I'm not. I can actually be myself. It's actually the most valuable, the most transformative, and also the most magnetic for myself and my business when I'm true to who I am. And also realizing that, hey, I am not for everyone. We're here to attract a certain group of people. And then over the time, there were more and more things that I started to realize and to learn through this awareness of human design also, where some of my typical shadows were. So basically things that were holding me back from stepping more into my power. So I got more clarity on what are some very typical fears that I and Alina on a very consistent basis face. That again was so profound for me because I used to have a habit of, again, thinking there's something wrong with this. I need to fix this. I shouldn't feel this way. I shouldn't have these fears. And through the awareness that human design brought to me, when I first realized, oh, okay, if I have these fears and then I saw other people's charts and I work with so many clients, I literally realized, well, that's just what it means to be a human. And we all, at the end of the day, have some fears to deal with. But it's our choice if we let those fear hold us back. And that especially happens when we pretend they're not there or we're resisting that part of us, right? When we resist persists. And through human design, I have become so much more comfortable to actually face my fears, be honest about it, reflect on it, and be also more comfortable to feel them. That's still a work in progress, to be honest. But the more I have been doing it, I have been really building this muscle of no longer letting these fears hold me back. Rather, I use it as fuel to do the things that deep inside I know I'm meant to be doing. And then I do them rather than keep hiding. So overall, human design has brought this shift from playing small, holding back, being super scared of what other people think about me, comparing myself with others, feeling like I'm not good enough, I'm not where I should be, right? Always feeling like behind, to slowly, surely this other reality of fully owning who I am, playing out more big, sharing what I stand for, what I love, what I'm passionate about, and really owning that I am different, I'm unique. And I have also over time stopped to listen to all these noises outside, which is a conscious choice, right? I think also some input from the outside is actually very helpful, but I have started to really notice in my body when it's too much. You know, when is that I'm taking in some content that is actually serving me versus when do I take in content and other people's opinions and it actually takes me out of my confidence. That's something I have become hyper aware of. So over time, I have started to eliminate all the things that I felt are rather pulling me down energetically. And that obviously takes time, right? It's a process. The other thing that has also been so beautiful with my journey with human design is that in the very beginning, I more followed the traditional teachings of human design and what I learned about it. And while I found a lot of validation in that, I also started to notice quickly how it can actually also limit people in some way. And I saw this happening a lot, what people were saying. I was like, oh, this is really interesting. And for some reason, I personally never saw it this way. I always saw like all the possibilities. I also had this awareness through my teachers and also very soon also through the gene keys that we really have all of the chart, all the centers apply to us, all the 64 gates and gene keys and all the lines 1 to 6. They are interrelated, they are connected, they dance with each other. They also often confirm each other. Oftentimes, they also have very similar themes. It's just kind of explained in a slightly different way. And I started to see how this entire human design chart with all these also channels and everything really explains how the universe works. I found so many of the teachings that human design brought to me. I also found this in other philosophies and teachings and self-development and coaching. So I found like confirmation over and over again. And I found it actually in a very simplified way for me because it was just all in human design. The more I went, especially into the depth of the centers, into the depth of the gates and into the channels, rather than just scratching the surface with the only the types and the profile. Well, that was also a beautiful realization for me. And so over time, I saw everything more as archetypes and even the types that, yes, you are one type. And then also you may resonate with a lot of other elements from other types. And it's not mutually exclusive. It's actually like you can actually very much resonate with one type and another and have different elements of it. Because that's really what happened. The deeper I dove into every single human design chart. And when I was working with clients, and also especially because I stopped just following what the books were saying, I started to really listen to my body and really listen to my clients. What felt true to them? You know, I see human design as a tool that is not here to tell you what to do or should do or can't do. Rather, it is a tool that brings things to your awareness that you may already know about yourself, but you keep holding back. You're not fully giving yourself permission, right? And so it's more of a confirmation tool, but it happens from the inside out. It's not putting anything on you. It's more like that validation that we humans often need because again, we have been conditioned, we have been told all these stories that are often not helping us, and these very unique parts about us, they actually need to be expressed more. And that's where I find human design is so incredibly powerful. And the more I have leaned into this approach, where I guide people in a much more intuitive way, rather than throwing a lot of information at them, and we go really deep into very specific parts in the human design chart, depending on where the client is at, right? There's also now a lot of my coaching experience comes into this as well, where we really unlock things, like when you have like a bottle and it's kind of like a bottleneck, that's some major thing that's just holding you back. And when we can unplug it, then things start to flow so much more with ease. And one other thing that was very, very interesting for me when I was giving human design readings is that when I focused on sharing just all the information about human design and all the specific things that the human design chart was saying about a client, I actually felt drained and I felt tired. And I got almost to the point where I felt like I cannot do human design readings anymore because I learned that I'm supposed to do what lights me up and brings me joy and energizes me. So I was a little bit at a crossroad there. And it was in this moment that I really had to make this decision. Do I follow like certain things that I have learned or how I think it should be, how a human design reading should look like? And then I also realized this often comes from the scarcity belief that I'm not enough and I need to just give more information to people, right? And I was like, what if it actually can be really easy? Because I have always been a fan of let it be easy. And the more I let it be easy, the more impact I see with my clients, the more success I see all around, the more fulfilled I feel. And it took a little bit of time to let go of that ego story, right? That no, you have to give more information and more information. So when I more leaned into letting it be easy and really doing intuitive readings, where again, I focus more on the client, on the person, where they're at. I ask them very particular questions. I connect with them energetically. And then we go into very specific things in the chart based on the listening and responding with the person that's in front of me. And that has been so magical because I have now seen also with all the beautiful souls that I have been doing one-on-one readings and also have been working over a longer period of time in a one-on-one coaching container and also in my group programs, how there has been this shift for them too of no longer holding back, no longer just following what other people were telling them to do, even though it felt off, and more owning who they really are and having the courage to lean into also what comes easy to them and step more into their unique genius. I think that's really what the big gift of human design is at the end of the day, that it is this beautiful power tool for those that resonate with human design and feel attracted to it, that helps us get more clarity and confirmation on what we're here for, what are our unique talents and gifts. And with that, what also comes with that is that idea of really getting more out of the head and dropping more into the body, that we can let our body guide us when it comes to making decisions and building also businesses in this world or creative endeavors, however you like to call this, that is most importantly aligned with who you are at the core. Where it's not about chasing something or replicating somebody else's process that may look, pretty on the outside or is presented as the success story, but it's not yours, right? It's not going to feel right to you. And because I have had this experience myself, where I followed so many other people's strategies and concepts that were kind of promising all these amazing results. That's what I thought I wanted. And I got just disappointed and frustrated over and over and over again until I finally realized, like, I have to do it my way. There is no other way. And that's where human design comes in as this wonderful tool that we call the science of differentiation for a reason. Like it basically says, like, hey, every single one of you is different. What works for one is not going to work for another. So let's focus on you here. And of course, as you keep listening to your body, you will also then attract certain strategies that may help you with what overall feels right for your body, that may make things easier in what you're doing and sharing with the world to help other people as well. And yeah, this has just been such a fulfilling journey that, of course, I have become more and more passionate actually over the years about talking and teaching human design. And one of the also very big lessons for me was that I had to really allow myself to do it my way, because I don't see human design like many other people see human design, or I don't teach human design like many other people teach human design. And when I fully give myself permission to fully do it my way, that's when people reach out to me, they thank me, and they tell me how much they resonate with this approach, right? So this is for what I call, or what we call in the Gene Keys, the soul fractal, where I attract the people that are exactly meant to be working with me or to be listening to me on this podcast. And I believe that's the same for every single one of us. And I know many of you listening also are very passionate yourself about human design. And I truly believe that the more people we have in the world that can share this wonderful wealth of wisdom with more people in your unique way, we can create such tremendous impact in the world, because the more people are stepping into their power, into their true authenticity, where you allow yourself to be quirky, where you allow yourself to be more bold or loud, like whatever that is, that it's natural to you, but you're holding it back because of whatever the fears may be. And the more people we empower again into their own authenticity and really express it out into the world, I really believe that's how we can up-level consciousness. That's how we can really create a big shift, a positive, empowering shift in this world. Because as we humans start to change, our outside world starts to change, right? I think we often think that, oh, yeah, but the economy is like this, or this is how companies work, and I have to adapt to this. Well, what if it starts with you? And the more people are no longer just following the crowd or following the system of how the economy is, and think we are a victim of it, and rather you fully own who you are, and you express what feels true to you. You share your natural gifts and talents. I truly believe that even the corporate world and how we run businesses and the world in general, it has to adapt. It has to shift. Our perception of the world is always a reflection of how we feel inside of ourselves. And if human design, along with these other beautiful teachings of the gene keys and the deconditioning work, can help us to let go of all these limiting stories so that we can access our most natural essence that's within ourselves, and then we radiate this out more into the world, it will inspire others as well. And I think actually very quickly. So with that, I also wanted to invite you. You may already know that I'm launching right now a human design certification. It's called the Intuitive Human Design Teacher Training and Certification. So you're not only going to learn how to read human design charts and work with clients, it's also here really to empower you to share this knowledge. And you don't have to become a teacher, but truth to be told, if you want to also attract clients, it will be very, very helpful if at least you talk and share this knowledge in your unique, passionate way with the world. Because I can tell you that's what has been attracting people into my life, when I just talk about how much I love human design, how much it has changed my life, in my unique way. And the other thing that's very unique about this certification is that I'm literally bringing in all the wisdom I have learned over the last 7 years, also as a transformative coach, and having done a lot of the deconditioning work, and also weaving in Gene Keys wisdom, how it ties together with human design, how you can really enrich the transformation of your clients when you combine it. And most recently, I want to say over the last year or a year and a half, there has been actually a very big shift going on, at least in my world, in human design, and those that are in my world as well, which is the emergence of true sidereal astrology, and with that, a true sidereal version or calculation of the human design chart, which actually changes the human design chart. And so far from my experiment with that, and also with my clients, it has been an incredible next level of alignment that I see with people, where the tropical was already amazing. It already felt very empowering to people. But some things that kind of felt off, they now seem to even click more and even resonate with people in the true sidereal version, because true sidereal is based on what's really straight up in the sky. So with tropical, it's a little bit shifted. It's kind of fixed how the sky looked over 2000 years ago. And there's no right or wrong to me. I still also work with clients that want to look at the tropical chart, or oftentimes when the true sidereal is very new, we look at two charts, and then eventually what I have seen with clients that they just more resonate over time with the true sidereal version. And this is currently still evolving. It's actually a very exciting time. And yeah, this is going to be a very integral part of the certification. And actually, most people that are drawn to my work, they also come to me now for the true sidereal. And I'm always getting updates also from the True Sidereal founder, Ethan Chimenti, and then how this impacts everything with the human design. So we're really like creating something new. And I feel like we are literally at the forefront here of, yeah, evolving human design into its next level of evolution with that. And I can tell you there's so many people that are craving that. They have been asking for this. There are also already communities out there of thousands of people that have already for many years working with these newer true sidereal calculations with human design. So that's going to be all in the certification. And just to give you some heads up before I share a couple more details about the certification, this first year that I'm offering this, I actually made the decision to offer it at an amazing price. It's going to be 50% off the initial investment. And there's also going to be a 6 and a 9-month payment plan option, because after I received some feedback and I was talking to my audience a little bit more, there were so many people that wanted to do it. And it seemed that the price point was not super aligned with many of them. So I decided, you know what? I really want to get this knowledge out into the world. I want to empower people. And it just felt right to do it. And the only shift that I made is that instead of having 3 one-on-one sessions with me as a bonus, it will be only one session. So it also felt energetically aligned for me with that. Now, there will be at least 8 modules in the certification. I'm literally in the process of creating it right now. And it's almost halfway done. And because it's such an intuitive, creative process, there's a possibility that's actually going to be 9 modules, or the exact layout of the module is going to shift a little bit. It's also really depending on the group. So you are actually here co-creating the certification in some way. I always love when people ask me questions and they say, hey, I would also love to have this. And then I create another video for you with that. That's very much my generator energy of, responding to those, new insights and requests. So that's a very special time, I want to say. I think it's probably, because I don't know, I haven't interviewed everyone in the world, but the only certification that's out there right now that is also integrating now this new shift into the true sidereal, because oftentimes when such a change is going on, people also get very insecure, right? And they don't know what to do with that. My intention is to really empower you to do this with confidence so that you can bring this life-changing knowledge to people. And again, teach it and bring it into the world in your own unique way, because again, it has the power to change so many people's lives in so many positive ways. And the other thing is it's going to be a 9-month transformative journey. So this is not, just another course we're going to take in information. It is so much more. It's really here for you to create this new rebirth and get more in touch with fully living, with your human design, where you trust yourself more, right? Where you lean more into your strategy and authority and stop following what everybody else is saying. That's really where the magic is. And that does take time. That's why I've intentionally chosen to have it like a 9-month journey. And I think, yeah, it's necessary, right? Because look, when we shift into this more aligned reality, we have to let go of parts of us that are no longer serving us. And I want to provide a very safe container for that, where you can also do this without pressure, where you can do this at your own pace. And we have bi-weekly live calls, 2 per month. So it's going to be a total of 18 live calls. There's also going to be for 9 months a group like community support where you can interact with the group, where you can ask me questions, get coaching and support and all of it, no matter what questions you have arise, that I can, guide you so that you have the confidence to bring this to your clients, lead powerful client sessions, teach and share it in your unique way. So yeah, this is it. This is my invitation for you. So we officially start March 11th. Most likely the last date to join is going to be March 18th, because then you can still, if you join a little bit after the 11th, for those of you that, listen to the podcast, once we already started, you will right away be able to catch the replay of the first live call and then right away dive into module 1. With that, I want to leave you for today. I'm very excited about it. And if you have any questions for me, always feel free to reach out to me. And with that, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day. And as always, I'm excited to be with you back on the next episode. Bye, everyone.